This conference will now be recorded.
So let us start today's session. In this session, as we are continue to work with networking, we are going to talk about one concept called connections. Now, as per the real-time environments, I don't see there is a big use of connections concept, but if you are using it within your laptop or desktops, or in fact laptops, direct Linux, in that scenario, maybe it is useful more. Okay? To change the IP address of your machine, you need to learn the concept of connections. So let's start discussing about connection and let's finish it a little faster. So what are these connections concept that have been introduced from Red Hat 7 and Red Hat 8? This was not there before RHEL 7. It started on Red Hat 7 and continued in Red Hat 8, right? So what are these? Let's understand it. Now suppose I have a machine and I have only one Ethernet adapter. Let's call this adapter name as ENP0S3. Suppose the adapter name is this, and for this adapter, you can find there is a profile. See, whatever adapters you are having, each adapter will have a profile created in which it stores the IP address, subnet mask, and everything. Like if you go with ifconfig ENP0S3, you'll find that the IP address is 10.40, this is the subnet mask, etc. So it might be storing all these information at some location. So where is that location where all adapter configuration files are kept? It is etc sysconfig network scripts. Now this particular file is going to store the configuration file for all the adapters that you are using. As we have only one adapter, the config file name is ifcfg enp0s3. If you just read the content, I'll say cat and IFCFG ENP0S3, you'll find that it is holding the IP address, subnet mask, and other details, UID, device name, all that things are mentioned. So any change in the adapter configuration you are planning to do, that is going to get updated in this configuration file. So this configuration file stores what? Information about your Ethernet adapter. So each adapter you have will have a default configuration with its name. So let us say in our case also, what we were discussing here, I have an adapter ENP0S3 and that adapter is having a configuration file ifcfg ENP0S3, in which it is holding the IP address 192.168.10.40, for example. Now let's say that this is my laptop on which the IP is assigned, and I take my laptop places to places. I work from home, so I need, according to my home network settings to be set. Then I'll take it to office. So according to office setup, I need to adjust my networking. Sometimes I'll take it to other branches. So other branches, when I go, I need to adjust my network according to that branches. Sometimes I take my laptop to data center. So according to data center environment, I need to set up my networking. So what I need to do is always I need to edit this configuration file and switch the IP addresses, gateways, and many things I have to do. So not to do this concept or not to change the configurations repeatedly, what they have done is they have introduced a concept called connection. That means on the same adapter, you can create multiple profiles. One profile with the default name ENP0S3. Second, maybe I'll create it with a name called Office. Now inside it, I'll store an IP address 172.168.19.24, something like that. Now I'll create one more configuration file if required. Suppose I'm going to use it on some um, other department or other branch. For example, I'll say sales branch. Now over here, I'll be using a different IP. Maybe I would be using 10.1.140 or 120, something like that, right? So different things can be used. Now, maybe I'll be using it for my data center. So I'll be creating one more profile called DC, in which I'll be storing the IP address like 16.22.143.12, something like that. So each environment, I'm setting up a different IP address, different gateway, different DNS, whatever is required, right? So what happens in this scenario is whenever I'm at home, maybe I'll be activating this profile. So my adapter will be using first IP. Now, as soon as I goes to office, I'll activate this profile so that it will start working with office environment, no problem with my networking. And sometimes when I'm at the sales department, so I'll be using sales profile, it activate the profile according to sales environment. When I'm in data center, I'll be using data center concept. There is one more thing what you can do. Maybe you can create one more profile called auto where I'll activate DHCP. See, DHCP stands for Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol. So we have a DHCP devices or DHCP servers. What it does is whenever your machine come in the contact to DHCP network, it automatically assigns the IP address, subnet mask, gateway, DNS, all the configuration, right? So automatic IP will be assigned. So whenever you want to use that kind of setup, you can just activate this and it will start working with DHCP environment. So what I did is, according to my requirement, wherever I go, I have kept profiles. Whichever environment I am, I'll activate that profile and it will work. Now, how many profiles can I create like that? There is no limit. You can have n number or unlimited profiles for your requirement. But how many you can activate at a time? You can only activate one at a time. So if first profile is active, your adapter will start showing that IP and it will work with that IP. Now suppose if I activate second profile, automatically the first profile will be deactivated because you can only use one profile at a time. So already if one profile is active, you activated the other profile. So previously activated profile is going to get deactivated or down, and second profile will be activated. Same way, if I start the third profile, automatically previous active profile will be down and your adapter will start showing you sales IP and it will work with that. So whenever you activate new profile, the older profile which is active will become deactivated, right? Because only at one point your adapter can use one profile. How many you can create, that is your choice. It's like you have a mobile phone with you. Now you can purchase as many covers for it, back covers or full covers, whatever you want. But how many you can attach and use at a time? Only one. So same way, you can create as many profiles you want, but you can keep active only one profile at a time. Whichever profile you activate, it is going to start working with that. And out of all, you can make one of the profile as your default profile. That means every time the system restart, it is going to start with that profile always. Later on, you can switch it to whatever you want. How can I choose a default profile and all that thing? We will learn in the coming time. So as you see on production environment, this might not be a suitable choice, isn't it? Because your production servers are not going to switch the IP addresses like that. If they switch, there will be problem with production. So on production, mostly you will find one adapter, one profile concept. There wouldn't be multiple profiles to disturb the production activity. But personally, especially like movable computers, laptops and all, in that this thing is really, really useful, right? Now, each profile what you are creating here will be called as connection. I'm calling it as profile, but actually Red Hat recognize it as a connections. So to deal with connection, we have a command line and we have a tool as well. So first I'll show you command line because initially if I show you the tool, you may not get interested to work with the command line. Command line is important. So the command line is NMCLI, which stands for Network Manager Command Line Interface. When I hit enter, same like your CFG or if config, it is showing you that this is the adapter connected to which connection or profile. So by default, first adapter name and first connection name would be same. You won't find any difference inside it. And you see the IP address you are using is 192.168.10.40/24. It is also showing you other details also and some details how to deal with your devices, connections and all that thing. It is also showing you that. Anyways, now let me find some more details about connection. See, NMCLI itself is a very user-friendly command. You can say NMCLI and just press two times tab key. You have a tab key on your keyboard. Just press two times tab key and very beautifully it will express what are the other things that you can use. You can deal with connection, general, you can go for help, you can go for monitoring, networking, you can go for radio. Many options are there. I wanted to go with connections. So just type CO and press tab. See, it is automatically completing the phrase. So this auto completing concept is really helpful while we are doing big task, right? You don't have to remember the option. You can press double tab or single tab and get help. Or there are shortcuts to use instead of typing the full word connection. You can just abbreviate it using CON. Con stands for connection. Now give a space and press two times tab key so it tells you what you can do with connection. See, it says you can add a connection, clone a connection, delete, down, modify, you can activate it up for activating and down for deactivating. Or you can just say show me all the connections. So when you say show, it is going to show you all the connections. Usually connections will appear in green or black color. Green color connection means it is right now active in use, and black means it is down. That means standby connection is there created, not in use. So you see the name of the connection is this. This is the unique ID for it. Type is Ethernet, and the device which is using is ENP0S3. Now let's say you want to see little more details about that connection. So you can repeat the command and type the adapter or connection name. So when you type the connection name, it displays all the attributes that are set for this connection. So many options are there, what it has set, what is the interface name it is attached to, what is the connection name. If you go a little below by using down arrow, you will find what is the IP address that have been assigned, all that details you will find in this option. Now let us say I want to see the device detail also. Here we went with connection detail, but if you run NMCLI, there is an option device. That is nothing but your physical device or Ethernet adapter. So if you want to see device detail, you can type DE and press tab. It will automatically complete the phrase device. Or you can go shortcut dev, NMCLI dev. Now you press double tab. It tells you many options: status, show, connect, disconnect. You see an adapter physically can be activated or deactivated. So if you want to activate, deactivate an adapter, you use connect and disconnect. When you say disconnect, it is disabled. Like in Windows also you can do, you can go to network adapter, right? You can right click and disable, enable it, isn't it? So if I go to adapter options, in adapter option, any adapter that is active, you can right click and you can disable. If it is disabled, you can enable. So same thing I'm doing with NMCLI dev command. You can say disconnect to deactivate it or disable it, and connect to enable it. Or in fact, you can totally delete the adapter. or you can modify, you can make some changes in the parameter, or you can ask it to show the devices, or you can check the status. So it tells you which adapter is connected and which adapter is not connected, or which is not managed by network manager concept. To see the details about all the devices, you can say nmcli dev show. Same connection show details, similar information it is going to show you with dev show also. Anyway, now I want to do a new thing. I want to create a new connection or new profile for the same adapter ENP0S3. So I'll put up my requirements here that I have to create a new connection whose name should be Micon, and it is dedicated for ENP0S3 adapter, and whose type is simple Ethernet. That is a normal connection I'm creating. It's not any specialized connection. What are these specialized connections? We will learn in a short while after this concept. Then I also want you that the connection type also, I mean, the type of IP addressing what you are doing should be IPv4, and it should be manual. See, either you can go with manual IP or DHCP IP. So DHCP is called as auto. If you set it to auto, then what happens is it is going to automatically take the IP address, right, from DHCP. If you have a DHCP, obviously, if you have DHCP enabled environment, it is going to take automatic IP. So I want IP version 4 manual, not auto. I just set up the option, but I want to go with manual. Now, what IP address you want to assign? Maybe 192.168.10.41/24. See, with the IP, you have to give subnet mask from Red Hat 7. That full subnet mask 255, 255, 255 is not working. You have to give in shortcut 8, 16, 24. Yesterday, we have learned these basics. Also, I want to give a gateway. I don't have a gateway, but I just want to set up a gateway IP 10.1. Just to show you how to set up gateway, I'm using that 10.1, right? And lastly, I also want you to decide about auto connect option, which can be set to yes or no. What is auto connect and when to set yes or no, we'll understand in a short while. So with this requirement, I wanted to go and create a new connection for ENP0S3. How can I do that? See, in this scenario, we'll go with nmcli command line. So I'll go with nmcli. I'm dealing with connection, so I'll go with con. Now press double tab and you see there is an option add. I'm adding a new connection, so I'll go with add. NMCLI con add. See the beauty of the concept. Now when you press double tab after add, so it tells you with the add what are the options you can use. See, you can set up auto connect, you can go with connection name, you can go with connection type, right? And that what method you want, IP version 4 or what, IPv4 address or IPv6 address, which type of address you are going with, IPv4 method or IPv6 method, to which interface you want to attach it, what is the type of connection you want. All these details you can go by just pressing double tab over here. So as I know the options, I'll go with this command nmcli con space add. See, first I want to start with connection name. So what was the keyword? Con name. Anytime you're confused, just press double tap. It will print all the options. So con name I wanted to call is my con. For which adapter you wanted to use this connection. If you know the adapter name, type the adapter name. If you don't know the name, press double tab and it shows all the adapters that are available. From that, you can choose the name. So as I know the name, I'm typing ENP0S3. If you observe, after typing ENP, I press tab key to complete it. So use these tabs to lower your burden. It automatically completes the phrase for you. So NMCL icon add connection name is icon, which is dedicated for ENP0S3. Now I also wanted to give the type of connection. Now, when you press type and double tap, you see it is talking about that you may have a different adapters. You may have a normal Ethernet adapter that we go with normally 99%, or you may be assigning the IP on Bluetooth adapter, ADSL, CDMA, many options are there. Not necessarily we use them, but options are many, right? When you purchase a mobile phone, it comes with many features. You won't use them, most of them, right? But they are present. Same thing, it's available here that it is showing you many options, but we will go with our regular option that is Ethernet. So I'll say that this is a normal Ethernet adapter. Now, what kind of IP addressing you want to do? You want to give manual IP address or you want to go with automatic IP address? So we'll go with a option called, what was the option? One second, let me just get it from here. Okay, I'll go with IPv4 dot method. So what is the method of IP address you want to choose? Now just press double tab. You see it shows you can go with auto, or you can keep it disabled, or you can go with manual. Ignore shared and linked local, we never use it. Either we'll keep go with auto, manual, or if you don't want to use it, go with disable. Even disable is not used much. So I'll say go with manual. If you're assigning automatic IP, just say auto and nothing else to be done. Automatically, it will search a DHCP if it is present in your environment. Automatically, it is going to get IP address. So in our case, I'm going to give manual IP. So what we have done so far, we told that the connection name should be MyCon, interface name is ENP0S3, type of adapter is Ethernet, and IPv4 method is manual because I want to assign manual IP. Next thing, what I wanted to mention over here is the IP address. So which type of IP we are going with? IPv4. So I'll go with IPv4 dot addresses. That is the keyword. Now, guys, you may find initially that so many parameters I have to remember, but I'll tell you that if you keep on practicing this thing, it becomes an automatic process for you. You don't have to remember. And see, there is double tab option. Anywhere you stuck, press double tab and get your option if you are confused. So what IP you want? I want to assign 192.168.10.41 or 42, whatever IP. Let me just check it out. Is this IP free or not? 10.41. So you see my ping test is saying that that IP is not available. Okay, that's great. Now I also want to give gateway. See, again, I need to start with IPv4 because we are dealing with IP version 4 dot gateway. What gateway you want? So I'll say the gateway I wanted to assign is 192.168.10.1. Then the last thing is auto connect, which either you can say no or yes. See guys, I told you that when you have 4 or 5 or 10 connections created, out of all, you can set one as a default connection. So when you say auto connect yes to any connection, it will try to activate itself during boot. So the connection that you are storing with auto connect yes will try to get activated during boot. So guys, be very reasonable over here. Be very logical over here. Suppose you have 5 connections, only one connection should have auto connect yes that you want to get activate during boot automatically. All the others that you are going to use sometimes whenever it is required, make them auto connect as no. Suppose if all 5 I have made auto connect yes, then what happens? Right at the time of boot, there will be a fight that who is going to be the default connection. So one time your system boot, it will show 192.168.10.40. Other time it might show 100.60 dot something like that. Another time it will take DHCP. So out of all, one connection that you want to keep as your default connection should be auto connect. Yes. The others should be auto connect. No, that you are planning to use on a condition or situation. So I don't want to make my default connection, so I'm making it auto connect. No. Let me hit enter. So you see it says connection mycon with this ID has been successfully created. Now where this connection is created, etc sysconfig network script, the place where all connections are kept. So you see there is a new connection added, IFCFG mycon. In fact, you can say nmcli con show, and this shows you a black inactive connection mycon, which is not in use right now. If you want to see details about it, just type the name of the connection and it shows you what are the things you have kept. Auto connect you have set to no. It is going to be dedicated for ENP0S3 adapter. You have added IPv4 address, you have added gateway, all that thing it is showing you over here. And IPv4 method is manual. So it is going to get IP what we have assigned. It is not going to take IP on its own. So this new connection you have created, now let us say you want to activate that connection. How can I activate a connection? See, right now, if you just check it out, your adapter is showing the IP 10.40 because, oh, I'm sorry. If I just say NMCLI, nothing else. See why it is showing 10.40? Because this adapter is now connected to a connection ENP0S3. That is the reason you are getting that IP. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to activate my new connection, what I created, mycon. So I'll say nmcli con up to activate, down to deactivate. Which connection? Mycon. Guys, as soon as I hit enter, my adapter IP will be switched from 10.40 to 10.41 because I have changed my active connection. And as soon as I activate mycon, the previously active connection will be automatically deactivated. But guys, you'll also find one change. Right now, I'm connected through network using the IP address 10.40 on this terminal. Now, once the IP change, this particular terminal will lose its connection. Why? Because I was connected to IP 10.40. Now IP shifted to 41. I lose connectivity, right? So this is what happens on production if you do this concept. If you change the IP on the production live, then it is going to get disconnected with applications or users who are connected. So anyway, we don't do such things on production environment without any downtime. Anyway, so let me go for it. And you see my cursor will stuck, the terminal will stop. It is not going to work. Why? Because 40 IP is down and 41 IP is now activated. So if I want to connect to the same machine, I need to use the new IP 10.41. So let me do it. I'll take a new session. In the new session, I'll be using our new IP that is 10.41. Now when I hit enter, you see I got connected. Just observe the host name. What is the host name? Linux 40. Yesterday we set the host name, so we are on the same machine with new IP. Now if I go for ifconfig and ENP0S3, you'll find the IP address we are using is 10.41. Why, if you go with NMCLI, it tells you that ENP0S3 is now connected to CON. And that's the reason this is the IP address what is visible to us. You just see the status NMCLI con show and you'll find S3 connection is down, mycon is up, and it is being used by ENP0S3 device. Now, one more thing, guys. Okay, I tested that. Now I want to go back to my previous connection. I don't want to use this IP. I just tested it. It is working. Now I want to go back to my previous connection. What to do if I want to go back to previous connection? One common mistake what many people does, they try to deactivate mycon and then activate ENP0S3. Guys, ENP0S3 is already deactivated. If you deactivate mycon also, then you will lose the entire network. You have two keys for your house. One key you have already lost, and second key you are throwing out of the car while you're riding or you're throwing into the river. So aren't you lost both ways to go inside your house? Right? So that's what you should not do. When you have a single adapter, multiple profiles, avoid deactivating. See, I told you that when you activate one connection, automatically the previously activate connection will become down. So we don't have to use down in this scenario. I'll just say NMCLI con up the new connection ENP0S3. Now, when I hit enter, you see this terminal will stop pinging. Just go back to that ping that was happening. See how beautifully your network is helping you. Up till now, I was working with 10.41 IP that was pinging. But as soon as the pinging stop, you see it says that it is hinting you that the IP of 10.41 is now changed to 10.40. So it is helping us and telling us that the IP is now changed. Go back to new IP 10.40. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'll just close this terminal, this also, and let's go back with our old IP 10.40. And let me open the terminal. You see, I'm connected back. So whenever you have only one adapter with multiple connection, don't use if I say if config, you see that the IP address what I'm getting now is 10.40 back. You say NMCLI, it is showing you that it is connected back to ENP0S3. You say NMCLI con show, it is showing you that S3 is now activated and mycon is now deactivated. So this is the way, guys, how we have to make the changes in your connection. Okay, let us say that I want to modify a connection. So I have this connection called mycon. Let us say that I want to make the changes in this connection. Some parameters or features I want to change. Like there is an attribute connection dot auto connect, which is no. I want to make it yes, right? Maybe I have decided now that it should be my default connection. Same way, if you go a little below, there is an option IPv4 addresses, which is 10.4124. I want to change that IP to 10.42. Two things I want to modify in my connection. How can I modify the connection? The command is nmcli con modify. Just go with con mod, the short form. What you want to modify in which connection? I'll say I want to modify my con. Now you press double tab and it's open all the possibilities of connections that you can modify. Which I want to use, I'll go with the options. I'll say modify this option called connection dot auto connect, which was last time no, I'll make it yes. I want to change the other option IPv4 dot addresses to 192.168.10.42 slash 24. Two options I'm asking it to modify. Now you go back with your connection. You'll find out that connection auto connect is changed to yes, and the IP address is this. So just you have to take that left side option name and you have to change whatever values you want to set. So that is how you can assign the IP addresses and modify the connection to your requirement. Now, finally, if you want to delete your connection, how can you delete a connection? See, to delete a connection, either you can go to etc sysconfig network scripts and delete this file directly, or indirectly you can say nmcli con delete or just con del. Which connection? My con. Please don't delete the active connection, you'll have problems then. Now if you say nmcli con show, see that connection is gone. Check in network script location, that file is deleted. So this is the way on command line using nmcli you can change the connections and manage your networking. But now what I'm going to show you, this should not discourage you to use the command line. The reason why I did not show you this first is many people will fall for this only always. In fact, if you ask me on working, I would also prefer using this tool for its simplicity. But command line is something which you should remember that is very helpful to us. So I'll go with this tool called NMTY. Network Manager Text User Interface. So it's a menu-driven tool through which you can do all network operations. So I'll go to NMTUI. See a box get open. It is asking you, would you like to edit a connection or activate a connection, or you can even change the host name. Let's say I'll go with edit a connection. Let me hit enter. So it shows me what are the connections that are available. You can go to edit this connection, or you can go for add a new connection. Maybe I want to add a new connection, so I'll go with add. What type of connection? I'll say Ethernet. Enter. And what name for the profile you want. Suppose I want to say this time as prod. For which adapter? ENP0S3. See, both type of IPs are set to automatic. I'll change IP version 4 from automatic to manual. Now I'll go with show. I'll go with addresses. When you hit enter on add, it will allow you to add a new IP. I'll say 192.168.10.43, for example, /24. Right? If you want, you can add multiple IPs. See, we call it as virtual IPs or alias IPs. That means one adapter serving two IPs. Benefit is on a single adapter, you can have two IPs working in different network. Suppose sometimes my local network is 10.43 and my production network is 10.1.1.100/8. So both IPs will be working. I can communicate with 10 series. I can communicate with 10 series also. 10.1.1.100 also, right? So if that's the requirement, you can go with multiple IPs like that. But the disadvantage is if the adapter fails, all the IPs you have attached to it will fail. So anyway, concept is fair and square. If you want, you can assign multiple IPs on same adapter. Anyway, then I have a gateway. Let me give 192.168.10.1. If you want, you can add DNS server detail here itself. Then I'll come below and there is an option automatically connect, which is selected. That means this adapter is going, or this connection is going to get activated automatically during boot. If you don't want that feature, use spacebar. When you use spacebar, it gets deselected. If you again use spacebar, it will be selected. So use spacebar to select and unselected. I'm unselecting it. Let me go with OK, hit enter, go back and quit. Now you go to network script. Do you see there is a profile created? Go with nmcli con show. Did you see prod connection is created? Right? So same thing what I did with command line, I'm able to do very easily with that too. Now there is no good or bad practice that which one to be used. Mostly, this is the mentality of Indian subcontinent people that command line we have to use. I say whatever is easy to you, you use it. Who is going to watch that? How did you change the IP? Of course, if you keep command line in your mind, it would be helpful for scripting and other purposes. But there is no good or bad practice with that. Even in interview, I say you can say that I changed the IP using NMTO, and there's no harm in that, especially in Indian countries when you appear for Indian country, Indian states when you appear for interviews, they would be eager to listen command line. But I don't find any logic in that. If a person is able to change the IP, that's enough for me. How? That's not really important. Okay, if you're able to remember the IP command lines and all, that's good, that's cool, very nice. But you can still use NMTUI to modify your connection. Now let us say I want to change certain things in that connection. NMCLI con show, and I'll go with uh, prod. Sorry. In prod, I want to change auto connect no to yes. And IPv4, I want to change that 10.43 to something else, maybe 10.44, something like that. So I'll again do it with NMTUI. I'll go to NMTUI. I'll select edit a connection, enter. I'll select first the connection which I want to modify, that is prod, then go for edit. Now over here, I'll come and I'll modify the things. I'll say 10.44 instead of 10.43. And maybe IP version 4 configuration I want to disable. I don't want to use it. Also, I want to set up automatically connect to yes, so I'll use a space bar to select it. I'll go to OK, back, quit. Now, if you say NMCLI concho prod, you'll find auto connect is changed to yes. If you go below, you'll find out IPv4 address is 10.44 and you see IPv6 method is disabled. So whatever you want to do with your connection, you can do it with NMTUI, right? In fact, you can activate, deactivate any connection. Go to NMTUI, there is an option activate a connection. So just go to it. The connection which is right now active will show star before the name, and the option what you can use is deactivate. The connection which is not yet active, you can see it's showing no star and the option it is giving is activate. So go to activate, hit enter, and that connection will activate. I don't want to do it again. We already have seen what's the result of activating and deactivating the connection. Lastly, if you want to delete it, go to edit a connection, select the connection and say delete. So let me select delete and it's gone. You can also set the host name by coming over here, type whatever new name you want, hit enter, it will set that name. Anyway, now if you go with NMCLI conshow, you'll not find prod. Go to network scripts and you'll not find that connection anymore. So this is the way, guys, how you can make the connections whatever change you want. Now, lastly, before moving to next topic, suppose there is a connection which is active right now, and I want to make a change inside it. How? See, I'll say NMCLI con show and the adapter name ENP0S3. Now, if you look in this connection, I have not set any gateway. It's right now active, it is in use, and I want to change that option. So either you can do it command line, or to just give you a confidence, we can still use an MTUI. I'll go to edit a connection, select the connection and say edit, come to gateway and you can say 192.168.10.1. Then I'll go with OK, back and quit. Now you go with NMCLI console, check out that obviously the connection has added that parameter IPv4 gateway is now 10.1. But has it started to use it? See, the connection was already active. In this active connection, you made a change. Now you want to test whether the connection is updated or not. Now, to check the gateway, you have a command netstat-nr. This will show you that what gateways you are using. As of now, it's showing no gateway is being used. But just now, in the connection ENP0S3, I added gateway. So whenever you made a change in an active connection, you should say nmcli con up. Although it is up, but still I'm telling the same command. When you say up, it will go read the configuration. Whatever new changes you have done will automatically update it. Now, if you go back and check netstat, did you find that 10.1 gateway started to work? So first we have to update the configuration and then you can do it. You can activate it and automatically it is going to get activated and start working. So if an active connection you are making the changes, don't forget to refresh it by using conup command. All right. Now, a very important concept, guys, which I want you to concentrate and listen. Very helpful concept is there, which is used on, in fact, almost every layer. Physical layer, where your physical switches are there. Physical adapters that are connected to your machine. Or virtualization like VMware, ESXi, other things, or within your operating system also, which is called as bonding or teaming. This concept I have added also because it would be asked in your certification as well. If you're planning to write certification, there will be a setup for you where you have to change the IP addresses first, and then they might give you two other adapters and ask you to form a connection or form a team over there. So first of all, let us understand that what exactly is a team and what type of teams we can create over here. I'll give the traditional names, then I'll tell you the other names what can be used for it. So let us discuss one scenario. Please listen to me it carefully, guys. It is going to be a very helpful thing. Let us say that I have a machine with one adapter. Whatever might be the name, I don't want to worry about the name. It can be ENS, ENP, whatever it might be. Now, this adapter is connected to your production network, and the whole production is going out through this connection. Suppose this fellow is connected to your production network, and through production network, all the machines from outside world are communicating. Now, guys, it is so critical environment for me. My production is going on that, right? Now, when production is going on that, all the machines throughout the world will be communicating to my production network, and through production network they would be hitting to my computer only with that Ethernet adapter. What if that adapter fails? If that adapter fails, it becomes SPOC, single point of failure, not SPOC, SPOF, single point of failure. So where the things are coming, hitting, and that adapter is failing, so I'm no more able to communicate with internet or outside world. So don't you think this would be a problem when you are working on a production environment that adapter fails, communication fails, network fails, and your production fails? So how can I overcome this particular concept? You can create a team to avoid this kind of failure. See, guys, what happens in a team, or you might have seen a tag team wrestling matches. If one gets tired, he'll tag to the other, and the other one come into the ring and start fighting. Same kind of thing will happen. Or when you travel through airplane, it has multiple engines. If one engine fails, it will continue to go with other engine like that. So same thing here also. Instead of taking one adapter, Why not to take two adapter, combine them and create a team, right? See, earlier we used to call it bonding till Red Hat 6. From Red Hat 7, instead of calling it bonding, bonding has its own limitations. So Red Hat has thrown bonding and they have switched to team. Now, teaming is possible in every operating system. In Windows also you can team to Ethernet adapters. There also the concept name is teaming. In AIX, we call it as Ether channels. In Solaris, again, it is called as team. Even on networking, you do ether channel and teaming concept in switches level or something like that. So anyway, we form a team. So I have two adapters. So first type of team, what I'm showing you is active backup. So in which one adapter is active and the other adapter is backup, right? And this fellow is connected to your professional network, and the professional network is connected to internet via which all the clients are connecting and working with your application. So what happens in this scenario is all the traffic would be hitting to your team, and from team it is going to go to active adapter and it will work. If your active adapter fails, automatically team will switch the packets to backup adapter. So backup will get activated. It will take the place of active adapter and it will start working. So like that, even if your adapter failed, automatically the packets will be switched to second and it will start working. Now guys, if your network is perfect, you're using a proper virtualization and anything, no packet droppings will be noted. Perfectly, your team will be managing this concept. But if you're working on an improper virtualization like we are doing, Oracle VirtualBox, see there are two types of virtualization, full virtualization and half or para virtualization. So para virtualization will miss some features. Obviously, they don't want you to depend on para virtualization. So full virtualizations are ESXi, Citrix, Zen, maybe your cloud AWS or Azure or Google. They have full virtualization. So there you can use all these setups perfectly. Anyway, for practice, we can build a team on our Oracle VirtualBox as well, but you may not expect the perfect result because it is not complete virtualization to support everything. So this concept is called as active backup setup. Now you have one more setup, guys, which is called as round robin or load balancing. There is a thin difference between round robin and load balancing. What is that? I'll explain you. Let me draw another picture for explaining this concept. Same concept is there. I have a machine with two adapter. First, I'll explain you what is that load balancing, then I'll go with round robin. Suppose guys, I have the adapter whose speed is 1 Gbps. So I have two adapters whose is 1 Gbps. Now we have a network and the clients are connected to it and network traffic is hitting to your computer. The network load which is hitting to your computer is 2 Gbps. So guys, the traffic that is hitting to your computer is 2 Gbps, but the adapter what you have is only 1 Gbps. Now when 2 Gbps goes through 1 Gbps, what would you expect? Do you expect a great performance in that scenario or low performance? Obviously, low performance, right? Capacity is 1 Gbps and you are putting 2 Gbps inside it. That is going to be a very low performance issue. So I cannot change the speed of adapter manually, isn't it? But again, what we can do is we can form a team, right? Load balancing team. So when you form team 0, team 1, whatever, load balance. So what we will do here, both adapters will be active, as a result of which the speed of the team will be 2 Gbps. And whatever network packets that are hitting to your computer will be distributed among both of the adapter. Now, if one of the adapter fail, there is no failure. The only problem is speed will be reduced to 1 Gbps, but at least the things would be manageable. So team does not fail if one of the adapter fails. Now, how many adapters can I use in a team? Only two? No, it depends on your requirement. Maybe you need 3 Gbps speed, so you can add 3 adapter. Maybe you need 16 Gbps speed, you can add 16 adapters. There's no problem, right? Team can handle many adapters at a time. In active backup, usually we go with two. One is active, other one is backup. So team will combine both adapter and share the load amongst both. Now what round robin will do? See, round robin will also make a team with 2 Gbps speed only, but it won't use both adapter at a time. So what round robin will do? One time the packet is coming, it will send it to A adapter. Second time a packet is coming, it will send to B. So equally, it is going to use both adapter. So you have in your team two adapters. You want to use both the adapters for working. So one time it will send the traffic to A, second time it will send to B, then again to A, then to B. Like that, it will distribute the load first time to A adapter, second time to B adapter. Whereas load balancing at a time will share to both. So this is called teaming, NIC teaming, network teaming, whatever. And as I told you, it is done on almost every level. OS level, it is done on Ethernet adapter level. I mean, physically network switches level, it will be done, right? And also in virtualizations, if you're going with full virtualization like ESXi, Citrix, there also you will find to have a proper harmonious network, they'll create a teaming, mostly failover and load balancing. If required, you can also go with round robin concept also. Let me show you guys practically how to create this load balancing or teaming concept. See, first of all, I have to shut down my computer because I need two adapter. This is also a failure concept, guys, in para virtualization, that whenever you want to add a new virtual adapter, virtual disk or something, you have to power off the machine. If you are using full virtualization, you don't have to turn off the machine. While the machine is up and running, you can make the changes. Anyway, so I'll go to my virtual machine console, and in the settings, I'll go to network. See, already I'm using adapter number one. I don't want to disturb it. Let it be as it is. That is my main connectivity through which I'm doing. For this experiment, I'm going to activate adapter 2 and adapter 3. So let me go to adapter 2, enable it, and connect it to same host only adapter. Same thing, I'll go to adapter 3, enable it, and I'm going to make it host only adapter. So this is the way. What you can do is you can get two adapters for this configuration. Okay, let me say okay, and let's power on the machine. See, as soon as you power on the machine, you will find adapter 2 and adapter 3 will be down. No need to activate them. We'll create the profile for them, and automatically when I activate the profile, adapters will get activated. So don't worry if you find both the adapters in inactive state or disconnected state. So what we did, we turn off the machine, we went into settings, and we have given three adapters. One is our main communication network. The other two, I'll be setting up your network bond or team. Usually in production environment, our main network or production network for which the production activity is going on, that network will be used for teaming concept. And one our internal communication, the same way what we have kept our first adapter will be as it is. So maybe it is now finding out the adapters, trying to activate them, and as it is not activated, no profile was there, so it's continued to boot. Now this teaming and bonding, guys, you can do it through NMCLI or NMTUI. Please don't hesitate to use TUI. There's no problem at all to use it. But remembering command lines is a good thing. Okay, now if I say ifconfig, it is showing me enp0s8 and enp0s9. But these are in the activated state, probably. If I say nmcli dev status, see, it is disconnected. Don't try to activate it. If you want, you can activate it by using nmcli dev connect and the adapter name. So it is going to activate it. I don't want to waste my time in activate it, because if you go to etc sysconfig network scripts, they are not having a profile. So what I'll do, I'll create a profile for it for team usage. Then automatically these two fellow S8 and S9 will get activated. So we don't have to activate them manually. So as discussed, guys, let me take you back to manual. We have these concepts in teaming. We understood what is teaming. Now there are three things what we have to work with. Team D, a daemon or service that will allow us to work with team. Team DCTL, it's a monitoring tool. When you run Team DCTL, it will show you your team is active or not, what type of team you have done, which adapter is active, which adapter is backup, all it will show you. Runners, these are the types of teamings what you are doing. I told you round robin, load balancer, active backup. So I'm telling type, but actually the name we have given is runners. So what kind of team you are implementing is nothing but runner. Team D is a daemon service that is required for running the team. Team D CTL is a utility for monitoring and checking your team status. And runners are the type what you are trying to work with. Basically, it uses a JSON format of configuration. See, we store configuration in different formats. It uses JSON format. We don't have to worry. I'll explain you how to work with that. So step number one, we have added two new adapter, and those adapters are down. They are not in use. No problem. First of all, I'm going to create a team adapter. And in that team, I'm going to add two adapters as its participant. See, under a team, whatever adapters you are using, they are called as slave. So we have master and slave. Team adapter will be master and its slave will be participant adapters. S8 and S9 will be called as slaves. So first let us create a master adapter. So as I'm showing you with command line, I'm also not that much perfect in command line. So what I'll do, I'll just keep the manual in front of us and we'll go with the command line. So we'll say nmcli con add. The type I want to add is team. Now, if you just look out over here, there is an option team. I don't know why they have kept, but you still have bond option also. Never go with bond. Bond is a failure concept from Red Hat 7. It gives lots of problem. Team is a better. So bond also have slaves. Teams also have slave. So anyway, I'm creating a master now. So I'll go with team. I'll say nmcli con add type is team. What name you want to call this bond adapter or team adapter? I want to call it team 0, team 1, team production, team this, team that, whatever you want. And what adapter you want to use. Actually, guys, this is not a real adapter. It's a virtual concept what I'm creating to support team. So I'll say the adapter name is also team 0. Doesn't matter. So virtually it creates that to support both the slaves. Now here is very important option, config. So you need to mention, first of all, use two single quotes and start with curly bracket. Again, guys, you see there are double quotes that you have to use here. Put double quotes and say runner. What type of runner you want to use? Again, open and close a bracket and type the option. The option is name. What is the name of the connection you are creating or the type of runner you are going to use? The type of runner I want to use is active backup. Most of the people make mistake. They'll use active hyphen backup and it won't work. So proper name is active backup, load balancer, or round robin, whichever you are using. Don't make a mistake over there. Okay, so as you can see that we have added, we are trying to add a team adapter with the name team 0, whose configuration I have said that the runner I want to use is active backup. So first of all, I'm doing active backup. Later on, I'll show you load balancing and round robin also. Now, if you run nmcli con show, did you find that team 0 is created? But a team without any participant is waste. A group without members is waste. So same way, now after creating a team, the next step is to add some details to it and then add slaves to it. So the other details what I want to add, see these things you can put while creating team only. IPv4, IP gateway, DNS, whatever you want to use, these things can be added during creation of team itself. I did not added it just to make sure that the stuff is little smaller to view. But if you want, you can add all these options during team creation only. So I want to add IP address to it. So I'll have to modify. We have learned how to modify the connection. I'll say nmcli con mod team 0. I want to change IPv4 addresses option to 192.168.10.100/24. If you want, you can add gateway, you can add DNS, many things you want, you can add it. I don't want to make any such changes. Simply two changes I want to add. IPv4 method to be set as manual and connection auto connect. I want this connection to be automatically activated during boot. So I'll say connection auto connect as yes. So what I'm doing, there are many options what you can add. You can add gateway, DNS, many things. So what I'm doing is I'm just going with IP version 4. This is the IP. Now, in your certification exam, if they have mentioned to use a gateway, you should use a gateway also. So IPv4.gateway, what you can use. I'm just going with nmcli conmod team 0, IPv4 method manual, address should be this, and connection auto connect to be yes. Now, if you run nmcli con show team 0, you'll find that connection auto connect is yes, and IP you have assigned is this. IP method is manual. So guys, today we are going to take a little more time of yours than the usual time. Please bear with me. So next thing is adding a slaves to it. To add a slave, you have to say nmcli con add. Type is team slave. You have to add two slave to your team. So I'm going to call it team 0 slave 1, whose adapter name is enp0s8 and whose master is going to be team 0. Let me do it and show you. I'll say nmcli con add and type. I have shown you already. If it is bond, bond slave. If it is team, it is team slave. What is the name of this new connection you are creating? See, there was no connection created for S8 and S9. So now connection will also be created with the name team 0 SL1 or maybe SL0, slave 0. In short, I want to go. To which adapter you want to assign this connection? ENP0S8 and whose master is going to be team 0. So by this, S8 has been added as a slave to our master. Okay, now if I just run teamdctl, there is a command and teamdctl state. Maybe I'm doing a small mistake over here. 1 second. Yes, I need to mention the team name. Team DCTL, Team 0, and state. So you see it says that Team 0 is set up active backup and there is only one adapter, right? And which one is active port? ENP0S8 is the active port. Now it's time to add your second slave into the configuration, right? So let me go for the same command again. This time I'll change the adapter name to S9 and the team name to SL1. Now you just say nmcli con show. You will find that your S8, S9 both are active and your team is also active. If you run if config team 0, you'll find team 0 adapter created, IP is 10.100, subnet mask is this, all what you have assigned. Now you run teamdctl command, team 0 state. It shows there are two ports, S8 and S9, and the port which is active is S9. Right? So it has shifted it gear to S9, which is activated now, no problem. Now what I'll do is whichever port is active, I'm going to deactivate it to test whether it works properly or not. What's the IP what we have set? 10.100. So you see 10.100 is now reachable. It is working very well. And the production or the network is going through S9. I'm going to deactivate S9. I'll say nmcli con down enp0 s9. Oh, I need to give the name. I'm sorry. The connection name is team 0 SL1. So it is deactivated. You see, once the adapter is deactivated, here it is showing a small downtime. Did you see? Two packets have dropped and then it moved. So this is what I was telling you, that when we are working with a para virtualization like Oracle VirtualBox or workstation of VMware, you will find this thing. These dropouts you will not find in a perfect proper environment. Here there will be definitely a dropout in the connection. Now if you run teamdctl, you will find that the active adapter is S8. Now let me again activate our fault adapter. If I say nmcli con show, SL1 is down, so I'll say nmcli con up team 0 SL1. See again, when a new adapter added, you may find there are dropouts. So this is the problem of para virtualization. On full virtualization, you won't find these kind of things. If you go with teamdctl, you see adapter is added back, right? So this is the way how you can make the changes and you can check the active backup. Now suppose I wanted to change the type. Last time we have went with the active backup. Maybe now I want to go with load balancing. See, if you run ETH tool for for team 0 and grep for a word called speed. So what's the speed? 1000 Mbps. If you look out, what is the individual speed? ENP0S8, 1000 Mbps. ENP0S9, 1000 Mbps. And the team speed is 1000 Mbps. So that is what active backup will do. Now let me modify the type. How to modify? I'll say nmcli con mod team 0. Now in team 0, what exactly you want to modify? See, I wanted to change the type. Right, let me show you. Instead of active backup, we want to go with load balancing. Okay, so for load balancing, I just need to change the runner type, right? So I'll just go over here and I'm going to say modify config. Now what you want to modify, start with single quote, open and close braces. I want to change runner option. So runner, again open and close the braces and mention this is JSON method to add something in the configuration. So JSON is from Java script object notation. So anyway, I want to change the type to load balance. No, it's load balancer, it is just load balance. Now let me activate it. So I'll say nmcli con up team 0. Now if I go with team dctl team 0 state. So you see it changed to load balance and both adapters are now active. Let's do the speed test again. I'll go with grepping ENP0S8 1000 Mbps, S9 1000 Mbps. Whereas if you go with Team 0 now, what's the speed you are getting now? 2000 Mbps. Now if I fail one of the adapter, I'll say nmcli con down team 0 and SL 0. Now you go with the speed. Is it reduced? Yes. You activate it again, nmcli con up, check the speed. It will take little while, but it will change. So you see, the moment the adapter got activated, the speed has back to 2000 Mbps. Now, same way you can mention round robin also. The way how I have mentioned load balance, same way you can mention round robin option as well. Now, if you want to delete this particular concept, you don't want to use it anymore, then what you can do is you have to deactivate and delete the team and slaves all. So here is the method. Let me show you. First, we have to deactivate the team. I'll say nmcli con down team 0. Done. Then I have to remove or delete the slave connection. nmcli con del or delete team 0 SL0 and then SL1. Lastly, I can delete team also. So if you run nmcli con show, there is no team. If you run if config, you won't find any team adapter. Now same thing can be done with your TUI tool. You can just say nmtui edit a connection, add a connection, and here you can select that you are adding team. What name you want to call it. Suppose I want to call it team 1 maybe this time. Device name team 1. And here only you can add slaves. What type? Ethernet adapter. What name you want to call it? I want to say team 1 slave 1 maybe. Which adapter? ENP0 S8. Nothing else to be done. Just say OK. Again, I wanted to add a new connection. Team 1 slave 2. Adapter name ENP0S9. Nothing else to be done. Just say OK. Now here you have to come in JSON config and edit it. Now here we do a mistake, guys. In this, we again start with See, it is VI editor. Type I to go into insert mode, and we make a mistake that we start with single quote. So you should avoid single quotes over here. Just start with a curly bracket. Use double quotes and type runner. Again, open and close the bracket. Use name and change it to active backup. In fact, I guess that we have to use everything with double quotes to avoid confusions. Right. Save and quit. Right. That is it. What's the IP you want to assign? Manual IP. Give it an IP 192.168.10.100/24. The other things, if you have, you can give it maybe 192.168.10.1 gateway also. Anything else? Okay. Back and quit. Now you run nmcli con show. You'll find that team 1 is activated with two slaves, slave 1, slave 2. You run if config team 1. Do you find the IP? Just check the ping test. 10.100 has started to ping. You can do the same test. Fail 1, nmcli con down, team. Okay, let me just check it out. Team dctl enp, or sorry, team 1 state. Active adapter is S8, that is slave 1. So I'll say nmcli con down team 1 slave 1. Now you go with team dctl, S9 took the place, and there is a dropout because our virtualization thing is not able to work properly. Anyway, but started to ping. That's a good news. Now again, I'll bring it up. nmcli con up. So it will join back the team. To change the type, you can again go to nmtui, edit a connection, select the team and say edit. Just come to configuration, edit, press I for insert mode, and change it over here. For example, you can make it load balancing, or you can call it round robin. Let me save and quit. Okay, back, quit. Now say nmcli con up team 1, check team dctl. We are using round robin. You check the speed, speed will be same. You can say ETH tool for team 1 grep-i speed. The speed will be twice. All the tests what we have done, you can perform that. Now I want to delete that team, so I'll go to nmtui, activate, deactivate a connection. I'm deactivating team first. After deactivating team, go back to edit connection and just delete the team. That's it. Come back, quit. You run nmcli con show. See, everything is gone. So this is the way how you can do this teaming concept. Very important concept, guys, because definitely not just for your certification clearance, it would definitely be there in certification exam to clear this kind of thing. So see, with nmtui, it's making your way easier. You just have to remember the JSON format. You can build the team through that. If you can remember the command line, that is great enough, right? So that is it, guys, from my side. If you have any questions so far, you can put your questions Practice is must on this concept, guys. If you don't do practice, it becomes very tough. So practice it well. That's the only thing. Okay, no questions. That's great. Anyone else is having any questions, guys? Okay, do one thing. Just go with these practicals and let me know by tomorrow if you are able to perform these tasks or not. Or if you're halting anytime, you can reach me out. I'll help you out. Right? Okay. So thank you very much for joining today's class, guys. Let's meet up tomorrow and see another new concept.